Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen, today we're going to be talking about the one, the only, you guessed it, Zebec network. Now, listen, right? I heard, one or two comments. I guess people were asking, so, they don't know if it's 100% true. Is this true? Some people were saying this is not true. And guess what? It is true, ladies and gentlemen, right? We can see the Zebec network has officially came out with a statement saying Zebec network is now in the Bloomberg Galaxy DeFi Index. Zebec has been added to the Bloomberg Galaxy DeFi Index, now one of 23 assets selected from across the entire DeFi ecosystem. The index currently tracks 15 billion in AUM, bringing Zebec greater institutional visibility, inclusion in index-linked products, and broader global exposure. Which, by the way, right, to any Zebec hater out there, not that person that was skeptical about this news, but a hater, hold that, hold this hold it. I don't know what goes through someone's mind to, talk bad about this crypto. Genuinely, like we talked about it. You do any research, you even look at their compilation they brought out a couple, days ago. Dude, they've done so much in quarter three. They're doing so much in quarter four. They've been doing so much consistently through 2025. And people just, like to slam dunk this coin sometimes. I mean, that's okay. In life, you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Even if you're the best of the best, people will either, discredit you or they'll still, talk crap. It's just the way the world works. But if there's a hater watching this, I just want you to know, hold that, because Zbec, I'm telling you, Zbec is going to be one of the best cryptos. It's going to be a top crypto in 2026, and I just believe a top crypto in the whole entire ecosystem in the next just many years. Just I truly tell you, right? So we can see, right? We can see the Zbec weight is 1.55%. And look, man, they said in quarter three and quarter four they were going to come out with the heat. And man, oh man, have they delivered. Quarter three was absolutely fantastic. Quarter four, they said they're going to go out with a bang. And, there's still roughly 5 weeks left, more or less, maybe 5 to 6 weeks. But man, oh man, they keep delivering left and right, left and right. They just keep on giving those jabs, those hooks. I mean, these guys are not slowing down at any point. And I say this consistently. I'm like, I don't know what Zbet can do next. Of course, they can get some partnership here, some institutional here, something little bit here. But they just keep coming out with bangers after bangers. News events that are worth 10 out of 10, 12 out of 10, breaking the scale. This is huge. This is huge, right? Yeah, we see November 2025 target weights, right? 1.55% alongside established leaders like Uniswap, AAVE. We got Labs and Ondo Finance. So, yeah, man, you can see a lot of hype in the comments, and rightfully so. So I said, how hasn't everyone bought Zebec yet? What more do you need? Exactly. Literally, exactly. And guys, once again, this type of news is going to look fantastic for the resume. Okay. Yes, price has been actually reflecting instantly almost, right? We swept a big zone and, we had very nice positive news. And we can see, right? If we go even just in the last week, right, at one point, we're at the 0.0022, which we talked about for some time, right? That there's going to be good buying opportunities there. And we can see we're already at the 3.4. So you already know your boy got in at the 2.2 zone. We're up at the 3.4. So things are looking good, right? Things are looking good. And look, we're smashing in rankings. We're at rank 128 out of 9,122 active cryptos, 325 million market cap. This is only 16 million volume, right? This is only 16 million volume in the last 24 hours, and we're up 11%. Like I said, people, once the big money starts coming in, once we get to the hundreds of millions of volumes, the billions of volumes, the tens of billions of volumes, I'm telling you, the market cap is just going to surge an insane amount that no one is prepared for. We can see over the last month, we're down 12.8%. Guys, we were just down, 30 to 35% not too long ago. The average you would be down right now if you bought exactly a month ago would be 12.8%, right? So we are recovering at a rapid rate. We can also see in the last week, we are up almost 18%. And in the last day, we're up 11%. Last time we checked the holders, we know there was a lot of bandwagon happening. And we can see, right? Holders have skyrocketed. We went up 300 in a day practically. And then the next day, we pretty much went over 100. And as of right now, we're up currently almost 40, right? Up almost 40. So, that's good. That is good. We do have some more news actually. We have more institutional buys. We can see from Zebec Man, the GOAT, the legend himself. Shout out you, Zebec Man. And shout out to everyone else that is consistently tweeting about Zebec, that is consistently posting about Zebec, that is just consistently active in are on the social medias, even the people in the comments. Thank you guys for leaving comments, the likes, the shares, the views, the watch time. You guys are part of this success, right? One ant might not do a lot, but when you have a colony of ants, everything is possible. And that's what we are. All of us, we're one ant, but when we come together, we make a lot of noise. We make things happen. We bring exposure. We bring traction. We consistently put Zebec out there one way or another. So shout out to everyone. Shout out to all of us. So yeah, we can see Zebec fam, the stars are aligning now that Zebec and Zbcn are getting major shout outs from Bloomberg, talking real-time payroll innovation and blockchain payments. It's game on. But wait, connect the dots. Those Falcon X Global and 21 share wallets popping up on SoulScan with massive Zebec buys. We're talking 200K plus inflows just 18 days ago, straight from hot wallets, stacking like pros. This greater institutional visibility, it's no coincidence. With Falcon X snapping up 21 shares, ETP Kings with 11B AUM, right? The playbook is clear. ETF/ETPs for Zbec are incoming. Real world utility meets TradeFi muscle. Zbec family, this is our moonshot moment. Buy while it's dipping. Load up before the floodgates open. NFA, what is not financial advice, do your own research, right? So yeah, at the end of the day, you do have to do your own research. No one's a financial advisor. It's all about evidence. It's all about probability. Remember that is literally the game of trading, the game of investing. It's not about certainty. Okay, there's no such thing as certainty. Even you being alive 5 minutes from now, there's no such thing as it's not guarantee, right? But there's heavy evidence that you will be fine in 5 minutes, right? So that's the same thing with investing. It's the same thing. You look at the evidence, right? We see institutional wallets, right? We talked about Falcon before. We talked about other institutions having millions of dollars, right? And man, oh man, Coinbase has millions of dollars. Binance has millions of dollars. There's just so many big wallets with millions and millions of dollars, institutions that are invested in this. And I'm telling you, because dude, this thing goes 100x. You have $1 million. You just made $100 million. You put in $1,000, and this thing goes up 100x. You just made 100 grand. You put in 10 grand. This thing goes up 100x. You just became a millionaire. You understand? It's that simple. It's that simple. So I'm telling you. There's a reason why these institutions are putting in money, and we can see it, right? Falcon X wallet, hot wallet, and we've been talking about consistently how there's been consistent money coming in Zebec, institutional money. We also talked about consistently how, if we just even go look at the chart, let's just say over the last year, institutions have been buying anywhere from roughly, I would say, the 0.0032 upwards to like the 4 or 5, and they just don't care if they're in drawdown. And that's why I've been saying before, if institutions don't care if they're in drawdown, I understand, that you care that you're in drawdown, but you really have to think, well, if institutions are willing to be in drawdown, they don't care too much, then maybe I should care less too. Listen, obviously easier said than done. And obviously it's easier said than done when you have a little bit less knowledge. Maybe if the money means a little bit more to you, right? These institutions can usually afford to lose even millions of dollars and they'll be fine. I understand everyone's financial situation is different at the end of the day, but this is just for something, this is just for perspective. No Coinbase, no Binance yet, but I'm telling you, this is going to be inevitable. Guys, we are way past Coinbase. We are way past Binance in terms of how big we are and what we're doing in the background. I'm telling you, the listings are going to be inevitable. right? There's just no way. They list things like Pepe and even Turbo. I like Turbo, but what like Turbo got on Binance, Turbo got on Coinbase, right? You know, I talked about Turbo consistently. Yes, it's a meme coin. I know people don't like the comparisons, but listen, the point is, if Turbo, a meme coin, can go on Binance, can go on Coinbase, what makes you think Zebec won't with all this institutional backing and adoption and all these partnerships and you know being integrated in all these systems? What makes you think truly? I tell you, like you got to think logically here. What makes you think that if a coin like Turbo, a meme coin, Pepe, all these other meme coins can get on these big exchanges? What makes you think Zbec won't? Right? Just logically thinking. But yeah, that is ultimately it though, ladies and gentlemen. I do still like Turbo as a meme coin, but I know this is not Turbo video. I know it's not Turbo video. But anyways, love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.